Hi and welcome to this video, and I'm wondering if you recognize yourself in this in these kind of issues that I'm going to describe now, because having worked with a lot of narcissistic mother survivors and having as one myself, I have also been in the shoe, and I've seen a lot of this in this is the kind of pattern that many people find themselves in. And it's a feeling of being unhappy without really being able to pinpoint and understand or figure out what to do about it, what's wrong and what to do about it, but you don't feel that things are right. Perhaps you struggle a lot to make sense of yourself, of your feelings, of how to understand things, of what's triggered in you, and of relationships, and well, you just struggle to make sense of yourself. And that is really that's a hard place to be. I can remember that this was also me a long time ago, but it used to be me as well. I didn't know what was wrong and I didn't know what to do about it. And then you become insecure in yourself, like what should I do in this situation? How should I react to these people? And what can I expect and what can I not expect? And so you get a deep kind of insecurity in yourself, and that shows itself in that you don't know how to handle situations, that perhaps you're overthinking, overanalyzing, and nothing really seems like right. So relationships then get to be quite stressful, and it's very understandable that you get lonely, that you don't experience the kind of connection that you see that other people have with joy and with ease. This is not your experience. You tend to perhaps isolate, you struggle to find such a relationship because perhaps you attract more of what you've had, more narcissists and so on, and that you get more hurt, or there's a lot of it's all a bit unclear. It's all a bit hard to pinpoint. That's the kind of feeling that one has about oneself, about life, about where one is in one's life. So perhaps you feel that you lack direction in your life. Perhaps you feel like you're on a collision course with where you should be in your life. Perhaps you feel like you should have got further along in your life and have more things in place than you have, and so on. And something has to change, but what? How do you do it, and what do you have to do? And also it colors your future, that perhaps you don't, you're actually not steering your life like where you want to go, because you maybe don't know where you want to go, you maybe don't know what's right for you. So there's a lot of lack. Can you see that? There's a lot of lack. These are all symptoms of something lacking. And what is lacking here is a deeper connection to your authentic and true self. There is a deep essence in you that is that can help you to come into a flow in life. It's like the river is flowing, and that's where you're meant to be. And then things are easy. Then things are enjoyable. You are yourself, and you feel that security, that peace, that connection inside, and then also other relationships and life begins to arrange itself in a way that makes everything easier. So when you're out of sync with yourself, when you're not connected to your true self, then life is a struggle, and it's an uphill, and relationships difficult. You're maybe not in the right job, you don't know what that is perhaps, and so on. So you might find yourself with a lot of people in your life that are more of the people that you've grown up with, but you don't know any different. So you don't know what that would actually be like, because the truth is there's an opposite to all this lack. Because the opposite to all this lack, and I want to tell you, I've been on both sides of this, so I know from inside what this feels like to be in this place, and it doesn't feel good, and it's really hard to come out of it and know how do you come out of it? So I'm going to tell you about that later, but the opposite of this, where you want to get to, is a sense of inner security and inner knowing yourself and understanding yourself, even things that all of us have parts of us that don't make that much sense, but you come to an acceptance of even that, and so that makes for standing solidly on the ground. It makes for feeling peaceful inside, secure inside, and happy inside. Or at least having, not happy all the time, but in general, as a general state of being. You also develop like all these lack signals of feeling lost, unsure, confused, not knowing, and so on. These are all signals, and when you begin to take those signals as in they're pointing you to the issue of the problem, that you're disconnected from self, when you begin to take the signals, the help from that, then you can use them to realize that you need to connect more with yourself, and you can develop an emotional compass. You can actually have your feelings help you in yourself to know what's right for you, to know what's wrong for you, what you should do, to navigate in relationships. Like if there are people who are predators and who are aggressors, you'll be able to just tell inside just when you're with them, or when you're thinking about them even. That's my experience too. Like I have used this quite a lot also when it comes to in terms of who I work with and who I don't, because there are a lot of different people and not everyone is meant for us to work with. So those are the kind of signals that when you have access to it and when you use it, your life becomes easier. It's not something you have to think about. You just know it inside what's right for you. And you get access to inner guidance so that you can make choices and you can act in accordance with what's truly right for you. That means the end of overanalyzing, decision fatigue, overthinking, and so on. And it makes things a lot more easier. It doesn't necessarily straight away make things easier, because you might find that when you're becoming more authentic and more connected to yourself, you can actually feel that some people will resist that in your life. If these are people who want you to stay small, who want you to be insecure in yourself so that they can actually dominate you, or that they get some kind of advantage of this, then that's going to come up. But that's part of the process to actually sort through who you're with and what kind of environment you're in, to get to a place where you actually feel good and you're surrounded by people who are true, caring, genuinely kind people, that really are the people where you will feel good about yourself. So yeah, so then you feel good in yourself, and by feeling good in yourself, you attract relationships that are satisfying, and you experience what you see that people can experience, the true connection and intimacy, which is just a wonderful part of being. You know, it's even if you come a long way that you haven't experienced this, start experiencing it now. Start moving towards healing so that you can experience it, because we only have a lifetime, and actually experiencing it will be a true gift, and like really, really meaningful that you get to have that, even if you've lived a long part of your life perhaps without it. And that just makes it even more important that you do. So it also means that when you're connected to yourself, you can connect and be on the true path of your life journey. You've set the destination of your life to your best life. You're taken to your best life if you listen to this inner guidance. So you know what you want, you begin to plan things that you look forward to, you take charge of your life, you direct your life, you listen inside what's right for you. And what happens then is that it sounds magical, but it's actually true. This is the spiritual aspect. When you do this, you actually when you uplift yourself in this way, then you also will experience that life actually gives you gifts of joy and delight and wonderful surprises so that you enjoy your journey more. So this is what living is like, and not surviving. So you've had this survival self then that you didn't get help to actually. The problem behind it is that growing up, if you have good enough parents as a child, if you have parents who have a good, strong relationship and use their own feelings as a compass themselves, if you have people who are reasonably healthy, functioning in their life and in their relationships, then they can help you with all of this right from the start of your life. You can develop yourself in relationships, you can do all these things that make set you right away on this path. But for most of us, or for all of us, I would even say, who have grown up with a narcissistic mother, we have not had this. She didn't see us, she didn't mirror, she wasn't interested in who we truly were. So you really come off course to yourself. You really do have to later develop that relationship to your authentic self and your authentic spirit. And when you do, the gifts are tremendous. I'm not going to say that anything untrue here. I'm not going to say that this is like quick and easy and just some things that you need to do. No, you actually need, this is, but I have lots and lots of experience of having people who genuinely feel truly built connection to self, who really thank me for it, who are really who really get the deep meaning in this, and who can see. I also feel it when I'm speaking now, like the hairs on my back are standing up, because I know the value of this is priceless, and it dribbles into your other relationship. You kind of become like, I almost want to say you become like a light. You know, these good things spread to your family, to your kids, and so on, and then they can start connecting to themselves. But really, what I found in my own life, I had therapy and I had training and I had a lot of things. It's the human connection of someone who's walked this path who can really help you. It's someone who knows it from the inside and provides and has tools to provide what you need, what you didn't get. A lot of it is correcting. So like, you were shamed, you were blamed, you were gaslit, you were used. So a lot of this is like being in a container to help you heal with this. I have now a 12-week healing journey program, which can truly help you. Over 12 weeks, you can get a lot of inner shifts that are really important in this. And I provide that kind of, other people do as well, and they, you know, so there's different ones. So you should really listen to what is the, what are you drawn to? What is really speaking to you, and go with that. And if it speaks to you, then take that feeling seriously. Don't carry on. Where are you going to get to if you carry on for the next 3 months on off course of yourself? You know, it doesn't give you anything. It's just more wasted time. So, but what do you need to heal? You need a lot of corrective experiences here. You need a lot of truth being spoken. You need a lot of true emotional validation and mirroring, and a support, a true, genuine support. And there's a lot of different aspects. It's too much for me to be able to even give it here. But like, I have trained for many years in understand to be able to be a counselor and to help people be a therapist and so on, because it's my life. I've come out of this. I can see how my life would have been an absolute disaster if I hadn't done this journey. And it's nothing, it is a complex thing, so it affects your whole life. I'm sure you know that. So what I want to say to you is, you can get tools in this over these 3 months with me. I'm right there with you. There's a group. You can be more anonymous or less so. It depends on you. This group, this is made as something that you can come into even if you have a deep fear of groups. You don't have to expose yourself. You don't have to anything. I also understand that fear from inside. So that's I'm really sensitive to that. So don't worry about that aspect for sure. And just let me know though. That is really helpful for me to know. So I would love for you to join me on this journey starting the 16th of January. Well, you can join in the weeks before, and right after that is still possible. But if you join now within the next few days, then you get, so by Friday the 12th, I think it was, I'll put it in the link in the description, then you get an early bird special bonus. You get for free my new Spirit Love meditation for connecting to your heart and spirit. That's a great tool that you can use to really truly connect with yourself, and that integrates really beautifully with this program. So don't wait. Now is your chance to join me, and if you're unsure and you'd like to email me and so on, I suggest that you grab my click on beneath this video or in the description of this video is a self-invalidation quiz. That's another tool that I've created, just being aware of how one self-invalidates, which is something we've learned through, it's internalized by the invalidation that we've experienced by our mothers and our families. But once you can see what you're doing to yourself and recognize it, you can start to undo this and start truly walking towards healing. So you can get that, because then you come into my email community, and then you can just hit reply on one of the emails, and then you can ask me questions. My email is also on my YouTube channel, so you can find that as well. So if this has been helpful, then I would love for you to obviously I'd love for you to join. I really want to help you. I know the despair of standing in this, and I know what it feels like on the other side. And the difference is just you don't want to spend years in this despairing place. You want to start walking out of it. And the people who were on my last run were really happy with the program, and they have half of them are actually continuing on this journey. So that's another option that I can't promise it, but I want to do it if it's possible for me. Then I want to be able to help you continue as well. So potentially it could be 6 months, and can you imagine how much you can actually achieve in that time? So I really hope that if this speaks to you, that you take yourself seriously and that you consider joining this program now, so that you also get my beautiful Spirit Love meditation for connecting to your heart and spirit. So anyway, all the best to you, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.